get things started.
The world is still reacting to the death of Cuban dictator Fidel Castro, who died on Friday at 90. Now, Cubans are either dancing in the streets in Miami or they're crying in the streets in Cuba itself. Now, some critics are saying President Obama should have come out harder against the brutality of Castro's regime in his statement.
Do we have a statement?
I do. Yes. At this time of Fidel Castro's passing, we extend a hand of friendship to the Cuban people. We know that this moment fills Cubans in Cuba and in the United States with powerful emotions, recalling the countless ways in which Fidel Castro altered the course of individual lives, families, and of the Cuban nation. History will record and judge the enormous impact of this singular figure on the people and world around him. Today, we offer condolences to Fidel Castro's family, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Cuban people.
So what's wrong with that?
I'm nauseated.
Why?
I'm nauseated because this is you're talking about a mass murderer. You're talking about a guy who imprisoned people, who put gay people in jail. This is not a guy, when I see countless ways in which Fidel Castro altered the course of individual lives, yeah, by killing them.
Well, he didn't say one way. He didn't say altered it for the good. He just said it was altered.
We stand for freedom. This is the United States of America.
Yeah,
we stand for freedom of the press. We stand for the freedom of people to speak out against politics they don't like. No, but we do. We sit at this table every day and we're able to speak our minds, and people in Cuba don't have that right. And I want my president to speak up for those people. So, and this was a guy who imprisoned people who
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think he should have said, after just getting the doors open, allowing for people to go, see family, do stuff, do you think he should have said, and you're a bonehead, or was this the proper way to deal with this, given all of this? Well, you know, you can.
I think you have to call a monster
I listen to you, and I'm saying, diplomatically, if you're trying to keep, I'm sorry, baby, if you're trying to keep the lines of communication open and you're trying to keep a flow going, I think that's the way you do it. Now, we can go the other way, and I will say to people, 60 years of dictatorship, no freedom of the press, no freedom of people, no freedom of speech. Right. Keep an eye on that, because that's what America will look like if we lose the ability to have these conversations. Now, a lot of people say, you know, there's no possibility of that. Okay. But I personally think, yeah, there's a lot of really bad stuff. And as president, I want you to say, you know what? Because a lot of people didn't grow up with the Castro regime as being bad.
Well, you know,
I'm just saying, you just have to know that. I've been there as well.
I went to Cuba, yeah, so did she. I went to Cuba last April. And it's interesting. I mean, they have a 100% literacy rate there. So everybody gets a free education. Everybody has top-of-the-line medical care, so everyone's healthy.
Top of the line?
Pretty good, yeah. Well, actually, as a matter of fact, there's one thing that's interesting to me, because there's a vaccine that's being developed in Cuba to treat lung cancer, and it's showing very promising results. So if Trump says we're going to cut ties with Cuba completely, our doctors will not be able to work with their doctors.
He's not saying that, though. He's not saying cut ties with Cuba. What he's saying is, let's open the economic gates between the United States and Cuba, but with conditions. You have to free political prisoners. You have to give people freedom. You have to give people basic human rights.
You got to do the same thing here.
That's what he should be saying.
A lot of this is about diplomacy, and Jed and I rarely agree on anything, but I can agree with you in the sense that I did want a statement acknowledging from our president that he was a brutal dictator, that you know, that he imprisoned people, that he murdered people. I did want that. I wanted to hear that. But to Whoopi's point, my goodness, you need to be more diplomatic. Donald Trump sent out a tweet that said Fidel Castro is dead with an exclamation point. That is not the kind of leader that I want. I want somebody that's going to be a diplomat. I want somebody that's going to look at the entire picture. But I will say, as a Latina, I was a bit surprised that his statement was so sanitized.
Well, do you remember when relations began with Cuba. Do you remember the conversations and the ability that Obama had to say what he felt about Cuba and why they were opening up and how they were trying to make inroads?
Yes.
I think...
Remind us.
I don't have exactly, but you know, somebody he was very hard on them, and he said, "Listen, we're doing this because we're trying to make a balance. We're trying to get a balance, and you've been doing this, and this is how you've treated people, and people hate you, and this is why, and we're trying to combat that." So, I feel like, okay, he said, "Yeah, man is dead." The Cuban people who are there are mourning him. They are mourning him. A lot of those people, a lot of them are mourning him.
And they're still under a dictatorship.
They're under a dictatorship.
Right,
they have,
let's be clear.
But that's the point.
But look what's happening with the Cuban people who fled that regime. They're celebrating. They're in little Havana celebrating.
But they're not here celebrating. That's my point. My point is they are there. Wait up. They are there. You know, and he is talking to the people of Cuba. He's not talking to the Cubans here.
But he's speaking for the United States.
He's speaking to the Cuban people.
Don't you think there's a way, though, for him to have been diplomatic and at the same time call a murderer and say this is not representative?
No, I think you either can call a murderer or you have to do what he did.
But
which
what
is
about
say,
the
there's a lot of
victims?
stuff.
What about the families whose families, people who were victims of this horror? He's a monster. I want to see my president say this man was a monster.
I'm not arguing with you about, hold on, wait. I'm not arguing about whether he's a monster or not.
Right.
I'm saying to you that what Obama did was what a president is supposed to do.
Not in my opinion.
I understand that.
In my opinion.
I understand that.
Not for a mass murderer.
We hear it.
Oh, listen, are you kidding? Not to a mass murder? You know how many mass murderers this country has supported?
And I disagree with that as well. Like, I wouldn't want to see the... If
but I don't know.
Sarah.
Well, I was just going to say, whereas I could see Obama walking the line, there was a lot of flack for Justin Trudeau from Canada, who actually, he referenced being a family friend. I think this was a totally tone-deaf...
Well, because it was open.
Yeah.
Because Cuba is open to
Canada.
And has always been open to Canada.
Yeah, and there was, I think lifting him up was definitely a mistake.
Yeah.
And he tweeted his statement, which said... way more than Obama didn't say. It said, like, this guy was
the
great.
way I understand it, though, the people who fled Cuba were in good shape in those days. They had jobs, they were doctors, they were middle-class people.
Rubio, that is not the case.
Well, some of them were.
His family fled there, and they fled oppression.
No
one flees a good condition.
Look, all I'm saying, Jedediah, is that if you are in a country where you have nothing, and now some dictator comes in and says, okay, we're going to give you work, we're going to give you food, we're going to give you education, we're going to give you health care. You're happy about that.
They're not happy.
It depends on where you're coming from in the first place.
But they're not happy. No one flees a good situation. If you're happy and you have great health care, you're not fleeing.
Let me say something. There's an incredible art scene going on down there. There's a beautiful music scene going on.
Would you want to live there?
No, I don't want to live there.
But they don't either.
People are
they want to live
suffering.
here in freedom.
I think we need to be clear.
Nothing to do with me.
But this is a dictatorship.
Yeah.
People are suffering there. Let's be clear about that. But again, when you talk about diplomacy, remember those people are still suffering under a dictatorship of Raul Castro, Fidel Castro's brother.
Yes.
And what's going to happen when he dies?
And he's 85 years old. He idolized his brother. And so if Obama is being the statesman that he is, you have to think as a leader of the people that are there now.
Yes.
And I suspect
that's my point.
What he was thinking
That's
about.
my point.
How do you have a leader that is a dictator that did oppress so many that remains lauded by others? Like, how do you live such
because there was no coup. There was no coup.
Yeah.
He was there for 50 some odd years. I mean,
600 assassination attempts, by the way.
Yeah.
600.
Many of them by this
according
country.
to the Cubans.
Yeah.
The CIA tried to kill him.
So Barbara Walters has a statement because, you know, she went down.
Barbara and Fidel.
I saw that.
And she said, I first interviewed Fidel Castro 39 years ago. He was a charming, fiercely guarded about his private life. He called our interviews fiery debates. During our times together, he made clear to me he was an absolute dictator and that he was a staunch opponent of democracy. I told him that we were most profoundly disagreeing. What we were most profoundly disagreeing on was the meaning of freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, yes.
Are we supposed to attack Barbara because she's smiling?
No, I think that's a great interview, but but she's not the president of the United States. That's the representative of freedom and democracy for everyone.
The representative
and she's saying,
of freedom
I don't condone
and
you.
democracy opened up the lines of communication so that families,
People disagree with that, though.
You know what?
I disagree with that move because
How do you know what I'm going to say that you disagree? Wait until I say it and then disagree with it.
I disagree with what you just said. I do.
What I'm saying to you is he opened up these lines of communication so that people could go back, so we could find a way to change what's happening. This is the first movement in 60 years. I understand the people are happy Fidel is gone. Lots of people are happy. But I think what the president was doing was not to poop on the people who are mourning him back there. Like Elian Gonzalez says he was a father figure to me. We can't understand that, but we don't live there.
Remember him?
So, yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he chose not to say, you know, this is a horrible, horrible man, because he said it already. But now the man is dead. He said, listen, we understand this didn't impact you, but it impacted a whole lot of other people. So time will tell exactly what that impact is, because once both these guys are gone, the people will then make a decision about the road they want to go on. But we now have some light, or people feel like we have some light to help Cuba get to where they may want to
I
be.
hear your point, and I think the openness is important. I just wish it had conditions. I want to force that country, if they're going to have the benefit of us opening our doors and helping economically, and I want to do that, I want to force them to acknowledge human rights. I want to force them to let prisoners
for president
out.
then, because then you can
Maybe I should. Maybe I
We'll
should.
be right back with more Hot Topics.
There comes a time in life.
When I hit 35, all of a sudden I went through this. I did life wrong.
It's rough once you hit 20.
Women such as myself, we've already done everything.
You're accepted.
You accept yourself at this age.
I'm going to be 50 in 2 years.
You are? Then with 50 in 2 years. I'm going to be 100 in 25 years.
Oh, yeah. We're just getting started on tomorrow on 80. Still ahead, Sarah Jessica Parker reveals the upside of divorce. And View Your Deal's the only Cyber Monday site you need. We partnered with vendors for up to 70% off this season's most sizzling stuff with free shipping.
Welcome back. The Clinton campaign announced it's going to back Jill Stein's election recount effort, and apparently Mr. Trump's not happy about that. He went on a Twitter tirade on Sunday night, claiming Hillary already conceded the election and that he would have won the popular vote of millions didn't vote illegally. Now, there is no evidence anywhere that anyone voted illegally, Donald. But it does make the question come up. You've said that the whole thing was rigged, so why not make sure that it's not? Either way, why are you so upset about this?
Won, and he's still claiming all this. I mean, imagine if he lost.
Well, we'd be in the middle of a recount now if he had lost.
He's now claiming that he would have also won the popular vote, but for these 3 million illegal votes. But listen to what Marie on Facebook says. Let's assume that millions voted illegally. How does he prove that those votes only went to Hillary? Millions of illegal votes could have gone to him too.
Yeah, but it's
which is kind of interesting.
You know what the good thing about this is? That the news divisions are now stating that it's a lie. Like now they're saying with no evidence, it's not true.
It's not
which is what they should have been doing all year when he was lying and PolitiFact had to say he was lying.
Yeah.
But now they're starting to say this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie. And that's important, I think.
I'm surprised Clinton is jumping in. The camp is jumping in on this, though. I was surprised.
Do you think it's a wrong move for her?
They're not saying anything's going to come of it.
No, but what a waste. Like, why do it?
Well,
because it's being done.
It's kind of an American tradition, isn't it? I mean, people vote, and let's just make sure it was correct. What's wrong with that?
And this election is very different. Let's face it. I mean, this is the first time that I think we have actual proof that the Russian government hacked into the DNC, hacked into emails. We're trying to be persuasive in our politics in this election. And so who's to say, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but who's to say there wasn't some sort of hacking going on? There wasn't some sort of Russian involvement, because there is an example of it.
I don't know why he doesn't just say, you know what, do whatever you want. Recount it if you want. Do whatever you want.
Maybe he's frightened that they're going to find something, and he really didn't win.
I think he The issue is, if it was, you know, everybody wants the votes recounted. Like, people who support Hillary Clinton want the votes recounted because they're hoping that he didn't get it.
But see, nobody was freaking out. Everybody accepted what she said. When she conceded, it was fine.
Right.
But someone else said, you know, I'm not going to accept this. The Green Party said, we're not going to accept it. And she said, well, if you're looking, then look for me, too.
Well, why doesn't it seem odd, too, though, that the Green Party, I mean, Jill Stein got almost no votes.
It's the Green Party.
Right.
They want to make sure, because maybe she got more votes than she thought. Let the girl have the votes she wants.
Because a lot of
she
people
might have had 55 votes.
And any candidate can. The process is that any candidate can request the recount. Listen to this. In Pennsylvania, Trump only led by 70,638 votes. In Michigan, 10,704 votes. Right? And Wisconsin, 22,177 votes. And so those races were very close.
Right.
And those are swing
Is
states.
it a problem, though, that she went on and on before saying that if Trump, you know, contested the election or saw that, you know, didn't agree that she, you know, if she won and had won, if he spoke about it, that he should concede and move on?
She did concede.
But that's when
She's not looking for. She didn't go looking for this. This got handed to her. Somebody said, "Listen,
she could have said, I'm out of it. I already conceded."
Why should she?
But don't you want to know?
I would. I wouldn't care. If I were Trump, I would say, do whatever you want to do.
But he's not.
What, baby?
Is the recount just numbers, or will it actually investigate these accusations of
Who
voting
can say?
fraud?
Who knows? We only got till January to find out.
I know.
But there are reports that Trump is that he's very upset with Kellyanne Conway for making her feelings clear about Mitt Romney becoming Secretary of State. Take a look.
It's just breathtaking in scope and intensity, the type of messages I've received from all over the country. And I'm just me, I'm not Donald Trump. And so just as his former campaign manager, the number of people who feel betrayed to think that a Governor Romney would get the most prominent cabinet post after he went so far out of his way to hurt Donald Trump.
There's a plan here,
I just want to read something. These are Kellyanne Conway's criticisms while working for Ted Cruz. To accuse Ted Cruz himself and professionals who have been at this as long as you have been as committing a felony and breaking the law, we would just brush it off. But it shows you the danger of just saying things that aren't true and getting people to believe it and getting 20,000 people at a rally today just to lap it up as if it is true.
What are you saying? She's a hypocrite?
Well, I'm just saying that, I'm just saying, Kellyanne, you yourself did the same thing. So you can't really be pissed at Romney because he's just doing what you did when you were with Ted Cruz.
Maybe she wants the job.
There's a plan here. She does
So
not
far,
know.
I haven't. Why not? I haven't seen any job for her yet. I see Bannon has a job, and Giuliani might have a job.
He's thinking she'll say
and
anything.
that guy Sessions, the one with the little ears, he's got a job. All of them have a job except for Kellyanne.
I can't imagine that she went rogue. I can't
She
imagine
doesn't
that.
go rogue. There's a plan here. Something's going
What's the
on.
plan?
I don't know. She
Because
doesn't go off.
the plan is that somebody needs to stand up for the grassroots and feel that they're represented.
And
So
she
she's going to
decided
do
to
it,
do
and then
it.
she's going to go along with him in the end anyway.
Absolutely.
But someone needs to be speaking to those people to
So
calm them.
grassroots people, just know you're getting it from both ends. We'll be right back. Apparently, Americans are still stuck on traditional roles when it comes to relationships. A study found that if the husband isn't working full-time, a couple is much more likely to divorce. So what does that mean?
It means that he's home and he hasn't got enough to do. You know that old phrase, I married him for better or for worse, but not for lunch? That's what that's about.
But is this another stereotype, though?
I think men have a problem when they are not the primary breadwinners. I have a lot of...
Not all men. Most of my girlfriends, all my girlfriends, practically all of them, make more money than their
I
husbands.
have girlfriends.
They do.
I have girlfriends that make more money than their husbands, and it has been just a bone of contention throughout the entire marriage.
Well, maybe they should be married to different people.
Yeah. Different people. And for me, I will tell you, my mom gave me really great advice. When I got married, I was already a practicing attorney. My husband was a resident. He was making like $5. And you know, and I was buying things, and he was kind of complaining about it. And I had the first attitude, which was like, this is my money. And my mom said, you know, you don't use money as a weapon. You don't use money for power, and the dynamics in a relationship change. There may be a day when he makes more money. There may be a day when you're sick and he has to take care of you. You've got to build this wealth together. Don't use it as a weapon.
That's right.
And I took that advice and I kept it in mind. And I think it's very important.
I think the money, the breadwinner part is not as notable than just the gender role, because I've always tried to talk Max into being a house boo. I feel like it's someone that stays in the home. A house boo.
A house husband.
Yes, but I like
a house spook.
No.
Home is like boo.
No, it's like a domesticated cabana boy. I just feel that I want the home to feel like a home as well, but I want to work and come home and just have him be there. Yeah, and like he doesn't. I mean, if he cooked, it'd be a plus.
But that's the exact scenario that men have had for centuries and love it.
I know.
There she is, hi, darling, with plastic around her. What was that? The total woman wrapped in saran wrap. Darling, here's your meatloaf. Let's have sex.
They don't seem to.
They love that.
They do.
But that's over. It's not happening.
We could love it too. Imagine coming home and having someone like, I like the balance of being out of the home and then coming back.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to clean the whole place, but I just like him to stay there.
But to your point, I think a lot of men, I do know a lot of men who don't feel like they're being a man based on society's definition if they're
and
not
don't
the
marry a
primary
woman
character.
who is
I
working.
wouldn't. I mean, look, I've always made more money. Even when I was cocktail waitressing, I was a hard worker. So no matter what job I had, if I was a teacher, I was a hustler. So I oftentimes made more money. And it wasn't an issue because I tend to marry guys that are like, hey, you make more money
You've never been married before.
No, I mean, not married. I'm sorry. I tend to date. You know what it was? Oh, you know why? I'll tell you why. I've dated guys where we've been married and everything but the paperwork. Like you know, you feel like you're married. So, but I've been with men where it's not an issue because we have like a partnership and an understanding. So.
Yeah, okay.
But you know, most studies show that wives now bring home the bigger salary in 37% of heterosexual married couples. 41% of mothers are the sole supporters. But when men bring in a lesser paycheck, they're more likely to cheat, do less of the housework, and they need a prescription to treat
I think that all what we just said is as big a stereotype as anything we've ever talked about. Let us know. If your old man doesn't make as much money as you do, maybe he has to challenge himself more. Maybe he's doing the best he can, and that's what he does, and you love him, and y'all have a good relationship. If he's pissed off because you're making more money, maybe it's your way of getting out. Because that should not be what you should not be freaking out about the amount of money. Just be glad you got a job.
Well, just find a guy who has a big, strong ego.
They're very hard to find.
You know what I'm saying?
Very hard to find. Wow. I don't even know how to deal with that. Except to say we'll be right back.
Sarah Jessica Parker talks about how Sex and the City led her to divorce.
In one of the most beloved TV series of all time, Sex and the City, Sarah Jessica Parker is taking on a subject many of us can relate to on her new show, Divorce. Take a look.
Is this the planning meeting for the spring carnival?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then I'm in the right room.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I just didn't recognize you.
Oh, I'm Tom and Lila's mom.
Oh, Lila C?
Oh no, Lila D. Dufresne. Yeah, I'm Robert's wife. Sort of.
We love Robert. Hey, how is Robert?
Oh, he's good. He's good. And we're okay. We're okay now. We're sort of mid-transition, you know, sort of post-counseling, I don't know, whatever.
Please welcome Sarah Jessica Parker. Welcome back.
Just inappropriately touched like
4 out
It
of
was
5
great.
of you?
No, that was joy. It was
Okay, oh,
unwarranted.
sorry. It felt like more than one woman.
That's good.
Wow. And how was your Thanksgiving turkey?
It was hearty. It was my holiday was great. My turkey was excellent. How about
Do you
all?
make your turkey?
No, we did not make. We didn't host. We just provided desserts and wines and spirits.
My favorite.
Oh, so you were
Nice.
invited.
So we were invited, which was an enormous relief.
Yes.
Frankly. Yeah, no, but it was a really nice holiday. Hope likewise for everybody here. Safe, healthy, well-fed, decent company.
Yes, decent company is very
At
important.
this point, as much as we can.
Yeah, and get over there. It's
They're
like,
asked for.
You? Okay. So,
I want to ask you a little bit about the election.
Yes.
You're a mom, and
Yes,
there's
I
been a
am.
lot of talk before the election, after the election, about how to talk to your children about it, because it's been such a divisive time. A lot of people feel marginalized. You have kids. How do you talk to them about what's happened, about the results, about the whole process?
I sort of think it's best if I'm fairly candid, and I think you can take cues from children too. I think they'll let you know when the conversation is maybe confusing or uncomfortable. My son, James Wilkie, really likes to talk about it. It's obviously an ongoing conversation. He's 14. He's a new 14, and he's was very invested in this election, as he has in the last 2 elections. I mean, I think in our home, I've talked a lot about kind of redirecting sort of a lot of feelings have come up for a lot of people, and both people that felt that their candidate was the victor and those that felt a sort of despair because of a loss. But I've talked a lot about the issues and values that were of concern this entire election. Those don't change, and I think it's an opportunity for all of us to redirect that and not sort of forsake those ideas because you sort of feel daunted by a loss, but rather not only kind of organize your thoughts and maybe even find people who can help you focus those ideas and be vigilant about the things that are important. But actually, I have this other crazy notion, and this is what I talk to my children about, which is that there are lots and lots and lots of working mothers and working fathers and grandmothers and people of all color that voted for the president-elect who don't agree with all the things that maybe we find objectionable. And I think the most exciting thing about this moment, in all sincerity, is the opportunity to talk to each other, and not in a Pollyanna way. I mean, really have conversations about the things that are most important to working women in this country, no matter who you voted for. Working families, access to health care, a variety of things, climate, pay gap issues, and I am actually excited about that. And Van Jones has this thing that he talks about, the messy truth, and I think that is a perfect illustration of this election. Democracies are messy, and he has talked about this army of love that I think that we could all enlist in, and I think that there is an enormous opportunity here. So that's what I talk about.
I'm excited. Yes, that was very well said. I am excited to talk about your new show. You are producing and starring in the show Divorce.
Yep.
It just got picked up for 2nd season.
Yes.
So big congratulations. And Thomas Hayden Church, who is so adorably awkward in this, is your husband, Robert.
Yeah.
And you guys are going through a divorce from the name, as we know.
I describe it as a portrait of a marriage and an attempt at divorce.
That's a great way to put it.
Because most people, oh, you're so friendly, even in just a statement like that. But I
Have
feel
you ever
like
been divorced? I don't think
no,
you have.
no. I've been in one marriage, and I'm
Matthew.
into 25 years. I think we're into our 25th year, but not marriage. Sorry, we've been together 25, married for 19. But I think that most people aren't equipped to divorce well because they've never done it, for the most part. I mean, it's not like a skill. So it's not surprising that smart people behave foolishly or make bad choices or keep lousy counsel, and that
Hilariously so, by the way.
hilariously, and
I just have to say, it is so good. It is so well done. It is so well done. And when I first started watching it, it was like, am I seeing Carrie? No, I'm seeing a completely new character.
Is Carrie
well
coming back?
done.
Any new movies? Sex and the City? What's going on with that? Nothing? What can you tell us?
Well, this might be an excellent time. No, I know nothing.
Oh my God!
That was cute.
I got so excited. I love
Sarah, very cute.
I love how you just did that. Listen, our thanks to Sarah Jessica Parker. Divorce is on Sunday nights on HBO. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Greta. It's Cyber Monday, and we have so much great stuff coming up, like these adorable faux fur slides. We partnered with vendors for up to 70% off, plus free shipping on everything. So don't go anywhere. We've got killer deals after the break.
Yeah, it may be getting cold out there.
My God!
But this week, things are super hot with more sizzling hot topics.
You know it. Come on.
That's right. Plus, we can't wait to hang with Neil Patrick Harris.
If you're looking for insane Cyber Monday deals, point and click right here. We partnered with vendors for up to 70% off this season's hot holiday items. And did I mention it all comes with free shipping? But it's only while supplies last. So let's get shopping with lifestyle expert Greta Monahan.
Oh, so exciting! Game-changing.
Free shipping!
Game-changing gift alert right here. So Perfect Drink Pro, Perfect Bake Pro, no matter if you are an expert foodie, perfect assistant, or like me, completely lost in the kitchen, it's a savior.
That's
These
me.
are saviors. Unbelievable. Basically, you guys, it's a smart scale and recipe apps. You hook this up, and literally all you do, you don't even have to worry about measuring. It literally fixes if you overpour on the drinks. You can do a glass, a pitcher, a punch bowl, so it adjusts to any size crowd. And on the Bake Pro, it's amazing because you can also do a serving. So if you want to just do it for your son, like I do, or for a big crowd, it's amazing. This
So it's
is
like
a game
cheater.
changer. Love it. So I see you're in the. Come on. I see it. Short on ingredients. This baby will adjust the recipe for you. It is so smart. Original, $100. Today's deal, $50 plus free shipping. I knew she'd love it. Look at her. She's like, I'm out of here. These are so cute. Check this out.
Don't touch my drink, Oopie.
I know. I'm giving those to Whoopi. Sorial metallic totes. She's already leaving with it. Sorial metallic totes. Check these out, Sarah. Look at her. That a girl. That's my girl. Original $149 on these. Today's deal, $44 plus free shipping.
So cute.
Lightweight, awesome, 70%
They're
off.
so cute. The
How cute
material
are they? And check these out. I have one off, and I have one for you. Rustic cuff. You have two choices here. Jenny beaded bracelets, all these beautiful colored gemstones.
I love rustic cuff.
And this cool little ruby cube. And you have a choice of to monogram. It's personalized, just like Sarah's and mine.
SH.
Rose, silver, and gold. Original price, $54 to $110. Today's deal, $23 to $38. 57 to 65%
I love
off.
personalized
Such a great gift. Look at these. I can't get these off. So, footsie folds footwear.
Oh, she's back. She's back.
First slide. Here she comes. 4 different colors. Original deal, you guys, $46. But today's deal, $22 plus free shipping. You can wear these inside or out.
Yeah, I just noticed the sole of those.
Roomy. These bags are amazing because they start tiny and open up. They carry everything. Assorted bags from big to laptop cases and tablets. Original price, $20 to $60. Today's deal, $10 to $30. I know. Plus free shipping for a savings of 50% off. Now you're gonna love these. Look at babies.
This is my baby.
I love these. So collage.com personalized gifts are it. They're always great. Photo blanket. Look at how huge, you guys. One picture you can upload or a ton. Get those pictures out of your phone. You either can choose fleece or fluffy Sherpa.
This is so
pretty.
soft.
$110 to $200. Deal. $33 to $59. Free shipping. That's so cute. How cute. Look at them.
To Greta Monahan, the clock is ticking. You have 24 hours to get any of these
these exclusive deals at viewyourdeal.com. And, oh, sorry. And members of our audience are going home with a voucher to create your own photo blanket, Squad, from Squash.com, as well as a roomy bag. And we'll be right back.
Tomorrow, Neil Patrick Harris reveals how a series of unfortunate events left him unrecognizable. And Tim Tebow opens up about life after the NFL, the rejection, the heartbreak, and how he rose above it.
Welcome back. You know, it's, you know, I never know how to start this, but, you know, we lost some incredible people over the weekend, and some who made TV history, like Florence Henderson, who played, you know, Mom Carol Brady. She passed away at 82. She was just at Dancing with the Stars, last week for their finale. And
she was great.
She was funny and great and dirty as hell.
Yeah.
Just a great broad. And also Ron Glass from Barney Miller, you know? I mean, and the sci-fi series Firefly. I mean, you know, Ron was something else. And, you know, I know this is what has to happen in the world, but it is hard when there's somebody you don't want to let go of. So we say to you, have a great day, everybody. Consider life and enjoy it. And take a little time to enjoy the view.